Welcome back, Alkaline Tribe. This is Alkaline TV. Today I'm talking about WallStreetSilver, Coinbase IPO, or DPO rather, Bitcoin recently, and is it investing or is it not? The stock market right now, the silver squeeze, PSLV, physical silver, of course, and we're going to talk about more stuff at the end, and I'll take your questions if there's time. All right. So, welcome if you're just tuning in. We're doing this live, so let's get into it. So, today it's Wednesday. Today was the IPO. Well, it wasn't an IPO, but I'm going to talk about that in a second. For Coinbase, and if you're not familiar with Coinbase, it's a platform, it's an app or a website that you can buy and trade Bitcoin. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. And Coinbase has been around for a few years. It's, I think, the most popular app to trade it on, and some institutions can only use Coinbase to transact in Bitcoin. So there's also Coinbase Pro, which is like a subscription membership service that they offer. And I have used that before. It was a while ago, so I know what it is and I have experience with it. But I'm not an expert on that in particular, but I have used it before, so I want to get that out of the way. Also, I'm not a financial advisor, and some of this might not even technically be investing. Let's talk about that. So this is definitely not investment advice. I'm just sharing information and getting the dialogue started. So if you have something to comment, let me know in the comments. We're also going to talk, okay, so Coinbase is basically an app or a website that you can go buy Bitcoin or trade Bitcoin. And they offer other coins other than just Bitcoin. So it's popular. And so I was checking it out today when it launched. And it was first supposed to launch, it was supposed to be released to the public at around $250 a share. It ended up, they announced right before that it was probably going to be about $360 a share instead. So it launched, thought it was supposed to be noon, but I don't know in what time zone. It finally launched at like 1:30 or something, and at first it took off and then it dropped the rest of the day. So it started off at like 380, rocketed to about 430, and then plummeted the rest of the day until market close. It closed around 332 or something. So interesting. Now, I usually don't jump in on IPOs because wealthy people make money before the IPO. The IPO is when you should be making the money, meaning if you're the one offering the shares. So there's people that sell tickets to the game, there's people that buy tickets to the game. If you're the one selling the IPO, then you could make hundreds of millions or billions of dollars in a day. It's been done before when you take a company public. So I mentioned at the beginning that this was a DPO and not an IPO, which is a direct public offering. So they didn't go through the bank like traditionally. There's a process. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way, whoever did that. There's a process, and they didn't do that. They just offered it straight through the exchange, directly to the people, let's call them. I almost I almost said like 5 different things derogatory. So the people at the end, like us, are the retail investor that is not really getting the best deal. If you created the company or if you were investing before the IPO or before the DPO, then that would be juicy. I mean, I wonder how much they just made in one day. Fascinating. So be happy for people. You know, I talked yesterday in the podcast about abundance, and people have this scarcity mindset. And one way to shift over to abundance is to be happy for people that are succeeding. And if you see people making tons of cash, hopefully in an ethical way, then you should say, look, subconscious mind, pay attention to this right there. That's what I want. And you should ram that in and try to copy what they're doing. That's just a side note that I thought I would add to the discussion. Okay, so let's get to the next point here. Bitcoin. So Coinbase is a platform for trading Bitcoin. It wouldn't be around without Bitcoin. Bitcoin is really the opportunity, the reason people are using Coinbase. You know, back before there was Coinbase, I forgot how you bought Bitcoin. I'm trying to remember. There's like local exchanges. I mean, the farther back you go, the more shady it looked, even though it's not necessarily shady to deal with. But, you know, years ago, not that many people were using it. And a few years ago, when I first was dabbling in crypto, it was like I got kicked out of banks and stuff for it. Multiple. So, yeah, was I money laundering? No. It was ridiculous. So a few years ago, you got, like, they treated you like you were a criminal just for dealing with crypto at all. And now it's some people are hoping. San Diego Stacker, welcome, said, PayPal sells crypto? Really? I use PayPal. I didn't notice. All right, I'll check that out. Awesome. Well, interesting. I am curious at least. So I'm not necessarily hodling or anything like that. I'm just to be transparent. But I am definitely interested, and I keep my eye on what's going on. And I think information is the most important thing. You don't have to put money into something you don't understand. You can just investigate. The more, my mentor says, the more you investigate, well, his mentor said, the more you investigate, the less you invest. So sometimes you can just save money by just checking it out, learning as much as you can, increasing the information, because the first bit of information you might get could be wrong. Like, most of the information out there is junk. And that's why I have this channel, basically. So, thank you for sharing bits of info in the comments, because that's how I learn things also from the comments here. I have brilliant subscribers, and it's an above average subscriber base, that's for sure, and I'm thankful for that. So Bitcoin, if you don't know what it is, well, I'm not going to... San Diego Stacker said, I've never liked the idea of putting my money or whatever dollars on a USB stick. Yeah, I know how you feel. I can totally relate to that. And I do want to talk about that too, because I had this great meme from WallStreetSilver Reddit. If you're new to this, if you don't know about silver, If you aren't investing, or if you're new to it, or if you're just gambling and not investing, which most people probably fit into that category, then check out Reddit slash WallStreetSilver, reddit.com slash WallStreetSilver, one word. And there's a lot of info and pictures and humor and tomfoolery, if that's go check it out, because honestly, Reddit, I once in a while would go, there's obscure stuff on there sometimes that you can't really find other places, but then once WallStreetSilver got going, I really, finally, it's useful. But the rest of Reddit, But WallStreetSilver, yes. People are posting their giant bricks of silver on there, and it's fascinating, it's motivating, and like I said, it's also hilarious. There's a lot of just ridiculous, crude humor going on, and that helps to, the investing world needs some fun and excitement. They're basically fighting back against the banks who, if you don't understand, I talked about this in another video about silver, about money and currency. I keep just quickly mentioning it because I don't want to dive all the way back into that rabbit hole, but it's important to just note really quickly, go look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about, because if you think a dollar bill is money, then you have a lot of learning to do. And I'm not trying to be condescending. It's just like, once you find out what's really going on, you will be baffled by this. Money is not the currency. I mean, the fiat currency, the dollar, is debt. It's created out of thin air. It's debt that is owed back to the Fed by the government. By the time that banks even get it, they owe more than it. If that just boggles your mind, then just go look it up, because it doesn't make any sense. If you think that doesn't make sense, exactly. It's some would say it's a scam. Some would say it's a pyramid scheme. A lot of people would say a lot of things. So that's all going on, and Bitcoin is pretty much became popular because of the same reason. But the silver people, the silver stackers, silverbacks, they're calling themselves, because the people on Reddit are apes, and silver stackers are the silverback apes. Oh man, it's so ridiculous, the way the internet makes up terminology. But anyway, Bitcoin is the supposed benefits of it, which is up to you to research yourself and decide if it's a benefit or not, is that the banks are controlling everything through the money supply. They're manipulating everything, and the people that are saving, their purchasing power is going to zero, and the people behind the curtain, like in The Wizard of Oz kind of, are just doing whatever they want, basically. So San Diego Stacker said, it makes perfect sense. That's why I stack silver and gold. Yes, someone who gets it. It's refreshing. I always love talking to silver stackers or precious metals people, because they just get it. They're just logical and rational on a level that I think should be common sense. But is it common or not? We'll find out in the months to come. it's appearing to be less and less common the older I get. So rare sense is what it should be called. So anyway, Bitcoin is a digital, people are calling it digital gold, but the people that are into gold are like, wait a minute, that's not, you shouldn't compare it to gold because you can't hold it in your hand. Where is the Bitcoin? Is it even on the USB? Is it like, I mean, yeah, the people that are the people that understand software and hardware. I'm not a coder. I know a tiny bit, and I have friends that in varying degrees can code a little bit more. I mean, it depends on who. So I don't even understand Bitcoin, and I'm one of the smartest people that I've ever met. And I'm just saying one of instead of the most, which I just to give other people the benefit of the doubt. But if I can't understand it, then it takes a considerably niche specialist to program blockchain. If you program blockchain, then you know about it. All the other people that don't program blockchain or don't program at all, what should they be doing right now? Because I think that's the people I'm talking to. I don't think there are that many programmers on my channel. I'm not sure, maybe there are. My clients, none of my clients are. Most of the people I think are business owners or want to be business owners. But they're, taking control of their health usually. But the reason I'm talking about finances is because I see also another theme is that people don't know anything about money, and it's ignorance is not bliss. Oh, I said money when I meant fiat currency. Well, okay, people don't know anything about money. Yeah, that was a good statement. But you don't need to know much about silver and gold. You know what I mean? Like, what do you need to know? There's some right there. And there's some, I don't know where I put the one I took in the thumbnail. I put it down over there. But there it is. You can make it into jewelry. You can make it into cell phone parts. You can bite into it if you want to break your teeth. I guess people used to bite gold because it's soft. But some gold is mixed with silver to be more hard. And that's less than 24 karat is usually mixed with silver or some other metal. But metal, you can make it into jewelry, usually with gold. And silver is usually made into electronics. So, Bitcoin is made into what? Click, 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 click. Oh, I made money. Now what? So the people that made a ton of money in this wave up, which I recommend learning Elliott waves if you're going to be speculating. You'll melt the Bitcoin down out of thin air. So Bitcoin, what are you getting for the cash, or what are you trading? If you trade something in for it, what did you get and what is it doing? People say it's a store of value because it's on the hardware and it can't be removed. So if you do put it on a USB or a computer that's not connected to the internet, you can stash it somewhere and no one can hack it off of it. But you're assuming computers still exist or the internet still exists. And I think silver stackers are like, why are we assuming that the internet or anything is going to be usable? It could be censored, it could be shut down. If you know how to build your own computer and your own internet, great. Bitcoin might be more useful for someone like that. But if people are hoarding stuff for when SHTF, are you going to be able to use the Bitcoin? I don't know. That's what I don't know. I don't know if you're going to be able to plug in somewhere next year, the year after, 10 years from now, 20 years from, I don't know. So for me, if I ever dabble in Bitcoin, I'm usually trading, getting in and out. I'm not hodling, which some people who are in love with it are hodling it, which means holding. It's just a typo, for those of you that didn't know. The internet. San Diego Stacker said, Bitcoin's a tool. Make extra fiat. Yeah, it's the extra fiat. And buy more silver. So the silver squeeze, now let's shift over into that. And the stock market, and PSLV, and physical silver. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about now. The stock market, well, I've been waiting for it to crash for years and years and years. It hasn't yet, which has made, people have thought that I was foolish or something when I was talking about silver over 10 years ago. And I didn't have a YouTube video yet. Well, I might have, but it wasn't this channel. So I was telling people to start a home-based business and stack silver over 10 years ago, about like maybe 11 years ago, actually, or so. And people were so rude to me about that. It's weird. It was weird how rude people were. And what did I do to them? Did I punch them in the face? Did I hit them with a brick of silver? No. Should I have? No. But all jokes aside, people really were real jerks about it. And it's fascinating why. I don't understand why. But anyway, I shut up about it for the last 10 years then. And I just started talking about it again recently when it started becoming okay again. But I've been telling certain people, like in person, not on the channel, about it, like stuff like that. And just to throw it out there, it's none of my business if they stack it or not. However, now that there's a community on WallStreetSilver on Reddit of silverback apes, they're stacking and showing pictures of their stacks every day, and it's insane. Some people are getting just giant bricks, and I want it. And some people are just getting into it, getting their first ounce. So let's talk about the silver squeeze and the manipulation. that, was it JP Morgan that got caught and fined almost $1 billion for manipulating silver, and then they keep doing it? And then I just saw on WallStreetSilver yesterday that Bank of America is shorting hundreds of millions of ounces or so. And people are wondering why the price doesn't go up. Meanwhile, people are going nuts in real life, running around buying silver and stacking like crazy. I mean, I've been into this for, like I said, about 11 years. I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like people stacking giant bricks and posting it online and like going wild with it. And so something's happening. I'm excited. And to me, let's talk about PSLV and let's talk about physical silver. I saw yesterday, I think, that PSLV is the ticker symbol for the Pratt Physical Precious Metals Trust or something. I forgot what it's called. Anyway, do your own research. So they apparently own the most physical silver out of the fake matrix silver, which is just digital nonsense, basically, on a computer screen. Show me the money. Show me the effing money. Like Dan Pena says. So if you can't hold it in your hand, although he's not a silver stacker, but if you can't hold it in your hand, then what is it? That's up to you to question. But PSLV has the most physical out of any of these funds. There are other funds that you can buy silver, and they just say, okay, thanks for the money. We'll buy silver with that, maybe. And then they don't. So and I'm just summing up in a nutshell what other people are really sophisticatedly detailing on in various places. So if this is interesting to you, then do more research for sure. And I'm just summing up a lot of different things to try to give you a macro view of what's going on in the market. That's pretty much how I think. I'm not a specialist at either one of these things, but I'm giving like my perspective, a broad view, and I'm not a disclaimer, I'm not a investment advisor either. Okay, so PSLV just surpassed the other funds by now they have the most silver. PSLV, talk about the Perth Mint, said San Diego Stacker. Okay, I'm not as versed on the Perth Mint. I have heard people chiming in about it for the last probably couple months that they were running out, but then someone talked to them on the phone and they were basically snickering that they're not running out, they're just not giving it to people. So there's all kinds of shenanigans going on. After the last couple years of other stuff going on, is anyone surprised about manipulation? I've been screaming about this for the last 15 years. It's it's obnoxious that barely anyone is waking up. Me and San Diego Stacker are ahead of the curve, and it's just like I keep waiting for when's it gonna happen. And I guess it's good to be early, but I was too early, so the silver allocations were not there. I heard that they were there and they were just doing it on purpose. So they weren't there. Well, what was the final evidence or article about this? Check out Reddit/WallStreetSilver to get usually the best stuff rises to the top. Not always, but there are some big articles on there that you can, if you're not familiar with the topic, you can deep dive. Since I've been following it for over 10 years, I don't really deep dive it anymore because to me it's silver. It's just common. It's just like, there it is. It's silver. Look. Or, I should have brought some over here. But look, there it is. What is it? It's that. That's what it is. It's like, what color is the sky? It's blue. Yeah, we can argue about what blue means, but it's still the sky. So to me, I still own something. I mean, while I'm alive anyway. You can't really own anything, but it's all God's money, some people say, the precious metals. You can just use it while you're here for a means of exchange and pass it on potentially to your family. They probably don't deserve it, but that's none of my business. Who are we going to wake up to? What do you mean? You mean who's going to wake the people up? Or what are we going to wake up to in the future that's going to be going on? 4 to 6 month production delay was the excuse, but it was supposed to be on site. I don't trust them. I mean, to me, they're like a crackhead that you don't deal with them. Because they're going to scam, they're going to lie and cheat and lie. I mean, they lie and lie and lie and lie. What do we... it's just been... How many decades are going to go by? I don't... People can't get the silver that was supposed to be insured. Yeah, that's why I didn't get any from them. You can get it from estate sales, flea markets, eBay, maybe, although you get ripped off by PayPal. The local shop is good if they are a good person or if they have good deals. Which means, I mean, there used to be not that much premium, and then, of course, the premiums went through the roof when I did a couple videos about that a few weeks ago, or a few months ago, in what was that, November or something, right when that was happening, when it looked like it was gonna start the next wave up, which if you don't understand Elliott waves, check out Elliott waves. Because it's all just nature. It's just nature progressing naturally. Well, in a free market. But I think Elliott waves are still helpful. But let me know what you think below. So now, PSLV has the most physical silvers out of the fake online silver, paper silver, whatever that is. That means you bought it and there's just evidence of it so that you don't have to have a giant sack of silver hauling it around, I guess. But the physical is what people are recommending because it can't be manipulated. Although they do manipulate the price of it through the matrix fake silver. They just short it, which means they borrow hundreds of thousands or hundreds of millions of shares and sell them, which is supposed to be illegal depending on, I heard some people mentioning it. I'm not a lawyer or expert on that. But to short naked, which means they don't have anything to cover it. They're just manipulating the price. Bank of America, shorting hundreds of millions of ounces. So then the silverback apes on Wall Street Silver are going, okay, lower the price right into my hands, and I'll buy as much of it as I possibly can, because it's still used in cell phones, it's still used in batteries, it's still used in electronic cars. GM announced that they're going to stop using gas engines in the future. So there's going to be more electric cars, there's going to be more cell phones. What about the silver? That's what the people buying silver are all asking anyway. So that's the bullish report on silver. I mean, if silver drops at all, I wouldn't feel bad. I wouldn't feel like I lost money. I still have it. It didn't disappear. It's only that fake paper stuff that when the value goes up and down, it's like, because it isn't worth anything itself. It's only worth what you can trade it for. So the physical silver or the physical gold, you'll still have the metal, you'll still be able to hold it in your hand, no matter what they manipulate. So they can't manipulate it out of their hand. Well, let's not go there. We'll keep it peaceful. So I'm not a, doom and gloom, like, the silver market is full of interesting types of people. I'm not one of the doomers. I try to keep it positive, even though I'm bearish on certain things and bullish on others. And I'm perma-bearish on certain things. So it's not just all about positivity and happiness. It's about being positive, knowing what you're doing. Investigate more so that you don't have to invest. You could save the money that you could potentially lose by doing more investigating. So when in doubt, investigate more. Don't trade something that you don't understand. For me, I understand silver. Look, there it is. What's to understand? It conducts electricity, and it's shiny, and people use it for... it's not as popular for jewelry as it is in electronics. Gold is more popular for jewelry. Platinum seems to be ahead of gold and silver. And if you look at the waves, if you zoom out of the chart, the platinum chart, you can check out my video from a couple months ago where I showed the long term. I zoomed out for years and years on the chart, and platinum was in like a different, they're not totally synced up. Gold and silver and platinum don't exactly move at the exact same time. Sometimes they're going at similar timing, but not exactly. However, they perform differently than the rest of the stock market. it's interesting, and there's a lot to learn, and there's a lot of fun to have. To check out WallStreetSilver, join the community of stackers, and fight back against the central banks. What's so bad about a central bank? Well, check out Mike Maloney's Hidden Secrets of Money playlist. It's a whole playlist that is more valuable than your entire public education. But if I could say it as well as he laid it out, I would just do those videos. But I recommend that because, although, I mean, he is also selling gold and silver, but I mean, if I had silver and gold mines, actually, I have an opportunity to gold mine, but depending on how you do it, it can be really dangerous, and sometimes the workers get killed and stuff. So it's pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal out there in the world. There's people just digging gold right out of the mountains. I mean, in other countries, there's all kinds of gold mines. They find silver just as a byproduct when they're mining gold, typically. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. That's everything I wanted to talk about. I'm working on a business program, so that an online course, and it's, there are a million different business courses. Why would I make another one? Well, I'm going to make it about ethical business, and I'm going to focus the first one on home-based business. I had an outline for a business course, but I showed it to one of my clients, and they said it was too much. So I simplified it down to probably about 15 videos. It's going to end up being something like that, plus some coaching. But I want to focus. Everyone's talking about make more money online and stuff like that, but nobody's talking about morals or ethics. And I know it's not a popular topic, but I studied philosophy as a minor. Well, I was double majoring for a while, but then I finally just declared it a minor and got finished up, because I was going to be just a permanent student. And, I am, really. I mean, if you've been watching my channel long enough, you know by now that I've been just continuously studying since I graduated. In fact, I've learned more since graduating. Definitely. All right, well, I'm going to stop there. Thank you so much, San Diego Stacker, for tuning in and commenting. Thank you, everyone else, for tuning in. Good luck out there. The market is a bubble. I mean, Charlie Munger finally came out the other day and said the stock market's a bubble. I mean, how many people have to come out and say that it's a bubble? It's a bubble, bubblicious, bubble-tastic. I've been saying this since 2 Christmases ago. Just things were weird. Even the year before last. Even 2019, I could sense it. And you can feel, if you pay attention long enough, you can feel the tides going in and out. And the stock market what is it? It's just so fake. It's just people keep saying like House of Cards and stuff like that. And I just, everyone's just piling on in. And these young people supposedly on RobinHood are just piling right in. By the way, RobinHood has a special that you get 3 free stocks. I have a link in the description for a special deal for that. And I use several different platforms to trade because I'm just trying a few of them out. So I do use them for some of my stuff, but I'm trying a bunch of them out because some of the trading platforms out there I really just wanted to throw the phone out the window or hit it with a hammer. I screamed at some customer service last year. Oh well, they deserved it. But anyway, it wasn't their fault. But they were just working for a crappy company. So, but I have links in the description for different resources for like free, $20 free for stash, and I use them too for some of my stuff. Sometimes it's convenient to use some of these apps. Like at first I was kind of against the apps, and I had like more of the old school desktop, Ameritrade or whatever. What was the oldest one was called E-Trade, and there's a bunch of different ones that I've dabbled in and tried out. So I've tried out, I mean, you know me, I try out a million different things, and then finally, whichever one works the best, I will settle on that one. And there are some things I do like about Robinhood, even though they got a lot of crap on Reddit when when people were squeezing GameStop and then they halted trading. People were like having a meltdown. And you have to understand, there's faulty technology behind a lot of this. It's not perfect like silver. All right, on that note, I'm going to wrap it up. Check out some of my other videos. I have a playlist started for speculating and investing. I also have one about entrepreneurship. And mostly these days I've been talking about health, because you need to be alive and you need to feel good to really get use out of wealth. What's the use of being wealthy if you're sick or in pain? So, I mean, I learned the hard way trying to do business while I was sick, but that's another story on other videos I already made. So keep tuned in for the business program. If you want one-on-one coaching, I do offer it. The link is at the bottom of the description. But I don't accept that many clients. I use my time very carefully, and I only take certain clients. So I'm not like one of those people plug in their, well, I am plugging it, but, ramming the programs down your throat, because my programs aren't really for the masses, pop culture. Mine are kind of for the people that are on the edge, that are actually, want to have it all, body, mind, and spirit. Most of the culture doesn't care about that kind of stuff these days. It's not cool anymore, but it's still cool on this channel. And if you're not part of the Alkaline tribe yet, subscribe and hit the bell icon, because I've been going live several times a week. I will be live again tomorrow, and I will see you there. Have an amazing day on purpose. Peace.